Yeah, there you go. Meet Marvin with the glasses. Marvin is
Yes.
back.
Yes.
You come and you go, and you here and you're there. We're going to talk about the old days.
Okay.
How old is the old days?
Well, if I can remember back, it was the end of '98, going into 2000, and we were down across Multnomah Ford and them.
Okay, so that was like the original building.
Right.
Spirit had been around just a little bit. So I don't know how you showed up in my life, but that was amazing.
Well, I showed up in your life because of Jeremy. Jeremy was working for you at that time.
Okay, so
And
okay.
I-
So Marvin was my on-the-road buddy. My best Marvin. Do you want to know my best Marvin story? I think we're in Tulsa.
Yeah.
Pretty sure at a Starboard show, and you're talking to a customer. You were driving and doing all that, and you told the customer, "I don't know, but I'll make something up if you want."
Yep. That's whatever you need.
Well, he thought you were joking. And I'm watching you relate to the customer, telling them all about the cars and how the things are and how much they cost and the rest of it. He went away. I went to you and I said, Marvin, you can't do that. What if he calls the shop and says, yeah, this guy in Tulsa told me all this stuff. So that's Marvin. Meet Marvin. So Marvin, we were in, where were we at?
We were in Oklahoma City.
No. When the drawing happened.
Oh, that was Indianapolis or Chicago?
Somewhere.
Yeah,
the
definitely was somewhere.
legends of pinstriping are there, and we're doing our thing. Oh man, there's a lot of stories being on the road. So you went the end of the whole end of the show. Everybody get ready to go. The legends are all going away, and there's Kenny Youngblood. And what was going to happen?
That's Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City. Okay.
And then we had our cars were in the middle of the big old auditorium. And I was sitting there, and we were showing them the tea buckets and talking to them. And then it was towards the end of the show. And it's kind of like this, see?
Wasn't toward the end of the show. It's like time to go home.
See, like I was thinking about home.
Where'd you?
I was thinking about home.
Oh my goodness! I didn't know that was on the back
Yeah,
of that.
that I was
You were
thinking
thinking
about
about
home.
all I'm thinking about is all right, unpacking this whole thing.
And then all of a sudden, this showed up in my brain.
Yeah. Okay. Look at that. It's in your brain. So how did you get it onto paper?
Well, I came to you and I said, I had this thing that came to my brain. And I said, it's a car and whatever else. And then you were going, we're trying to pack up and we got to get going. And I said, I got to get somebody to draw this picture while it's in my brain. And you said, who? And I said, I don't know. You said, well, there's the most famous guy down there, big time, has his own plane, flies in from Las Vegas, draw. And I said, okay, he'll do. You said, he'll never stay, he's leaving. Look, he's packed up and getting ready to walk out. I said, yeah, he'll stay. So I went down there and I said, excuse me, sir, I've got something in my brain. And I said, I've got to get you
You
to
gotta
draw
know
it.
Marvin to really appreciate this.
You know, I said, you got to draw this for me. He said, son, I got to go. My plane, I got it out there. I said, okay, how about this? God put it in my brain. He said, really? I said, yeah. I said, haven't you ever had anything? Yeah. He said, I guess he did some counseling or something, but basically he was a car designer. And I said, all right. He said, well, do you want to hear it? He said, set his stuff down, his suitcase and everything there, told him to hold the airplane. I told him, I said, it's a cross car. And I said, it's to go to shows. And I said that then we will show it, and at every cross car, we'll raise it up. He said, well,
Did he write this on here for this project to love?
yeah,
He wrote that. Okay, go ahead.
because it was low.
Okay.
And I said, he said, and I want you to come out of Las Vegas if I draw this and you build it, I want you here one night at midnight, because we Christians drive down the middle of the road, and there's still a lot of people here in Las Vegas that love the Lord. I said, I'll be there if I ever get it built or if I build it. But I said, you got to draw it. So here he gets all this stuff back out. And he said, what verse are you going to use? He said, everything associated with God has to have a verse. I said, okay, if I be lifted up, I will draw all men unto me. And that was the verse God gave me.
Okay. So then you come back.
So then we come back, and life happens.
Well,
and
you showed back at the end of the show. I packed up. You didn't. You were busy distracting Kenny.
You did all the work.
Yeah.
And it, so then he finally got it drawn, and I've got the original on my wall at the house where I pray in my prayer room, and just told God, you know, this is his. You build it. You do whatever you want to do.
Kenny's a solid guy. I have not talked to him for several years.
I called out there, it was about 5 years ago, to tell him that I was still, you know, still growing.
Well, he's a
whatever
Christian
else.
counselor out there, so.
I guess he's still alive. I don't know.
And Marvin is like disappeared out of my world for quite a few years.
Well, been sick, got cancer,
yeah,
got
life
farmer's
happened.
lung. Got
Yeah.
just, you know, I picked up a little bit of everything except leprosy. So
Oh, are you sure?
I've been tied up for 5 years with being sick. I have to support my doctors.
Oh, okay.
And
I got the flu there for a while. It lasted about a year. About a year. I'm back.
yeah,
So guess what? There it is. You show up with the cross car.
well, now the story about this picture now is, this was hanging in the barn. We went through a tornado. We just finished here.
Yeah.
And the barn's
About
gone.
a month ago.
The
A little over,
concrete's
yeah.
gone. But this picture was wet, laying over by the side. And I went over and picked it up, which I saw this side. And then I realized what was on this side. So then I decided to come and give this to Bob. That way, if
So
he
this
doesn't like it-
is the second time you brought it to me.
yeah,
Because I do remember the first time you brought it to me.
yep. And then we had it.
You brought
hanging.
it to me and you said, Kenny said, build this.
Yeah, that's what he said. Do. Then we had it out on when we were on 201 North. And then when I did whatever, I don't know what I did. I think I did long hauling there for a while. But
This is going to be easy. This is, you know, I actually started it once.
yeah, you had the frame built for the cross. It was out of
Yeah.
it was set up on the wall.
But the timing wasn't right. It'll be way easier now. The technology, because what we're going to do is we're going to put a TV up in there that'll fold down.
Yeah, the
But
reason.
back then, it was like, man, to get a big TV like that would have cost you
Well, see, the thing
$5,000
about
and-
it is, the point was, because you're a person that talks to anybody, I was going to videotape it, and then we were going to play it back from show to show about people, if they accepted Jesus, what they did, and it was going to play back on a screen up on top.
Yeah, it would fold down. So when you lift the cross up like that, it'll hinge right here, lift the cross up, and then the screen will fold down in the driver compartment there.
Right.
So it would be up in here. And then this will be easy to make now, because with foam, my son, we've been making these reptile cages, sculpt out the foam. I make a metal framework, foam the whole thing, sculpt it, make it look like a wood cross. We could probably play the Passion of the Christ. Remember the Passion of the Christ?
Yep.
We did that one car, that truck that time. We had, I don't know how many TVs in it, and played the Passion of the Christ in Tulsa. There was some people offended, but maybe some people got
Well,
the
the thing
message.
about it is, what I want to see is if what it says is true. That if the cross is raised up, wherever we are, wherever it goes, people are drawn to it.
Well,
So
you know,
far, they're
okay. Here's a scripture, John 17. Christ said, "If he be lifted up." Yes, but in the beginning of that, first he prayed for his apostles that they would be one. Then he prayed for us, those that heard the word through the apostles, that we would be one. No arguing, no fighting, no carrying on. No, I'm this one, that one. That we be one, and then lift him up, and he would draw everyone to himself.
Well, see, the thing that I guess when I was talking to him about when we were drawing this, he said, "Are you associated with any denomination or whatever else?" I said, "I've never known the cross not to be for the Catholics, not to be for any denomination. The cross speaks for itself. You don't have to be Baptist. You don't have to be anything. If the cross is raised up and you're looking at it, it represents something far more than just a testimony. You're talking about something that people can't argue with. How are you going from the church going to come in and argue about, well, you shouldn't have that or this? There's crosses everywhere. They hang them from the mirrors.
You want an argument? You know how much work I got to do?
Yes.
You know how many dreams we're building here with
Yes.
a skeleton crew? I'm excited though. The crew we got have all been with me quite a long time, and they're good, they're skilled. We're not going forward to back up and happen to redo. So where do we throw this in on the project
because
managing?
nothing comes but by prayer and fasting. And we're not building this car because
Oh, well, you just bought me lunch. That was good.
yeah, well,
So
the
now
thing
you're telling me
about it
to
is,
quit eating for a while?
it's not about what we're going to do with this or anything. It's about this point. You've got to make your living. You've got to do what you've got to do. This is God's. And that's the way I felt about it from the outset. Why he puts it in my head, I don't know. It's just maybe it's empty. But, you know.
All right, so here's what we're going to do.
Okay, what are you going to do?
I got to ask
Okay,
Joe.
yeah,
We're building Joe a really cool 34. It's a Pro Street 34, big, high horsepower, big block motor, Chevy, big block. He donated some tires to me for the school project. That never happened. I couldn't get the support in the school to do it. But I do have a set of tires. Doesn't this look like there should be some like Goodyear Eagles on the back of that?
Well, how about these on the
I
floor?
wonder, by coincidence, I've moved them out right here. So Joe donated these tires to me for that project, and we're not doing that project. So if Joe's watching this video, would you like to switch them over to be the back tires on the cross car? So you have to let me know. I can't just do that without asking you, because you did give them to us for a specific reason. I was going to give them back to you, but there you go. This is it. So I told you before we did this, you remember what a story I told you?
Yep,
What was the story?
I don't remember.
There's so many stories. Yeah. You want to have a good story.
Yes,
It doesn't matter what it's about. All you need is conflict and resolution
we got that.
and character development. We have
Well,
conflict. We need some resolution, and the cast of characters are showing up. So we just need how to develop I don't know how to develop you as a character. It's like your past developed. So that's it. Give us some words of wisdom, and then we'll call this one good.
Well, I was discussing with Bob
Oh no!
over
Wait a
at
minute.
lunch about the Old Testament, because everybody loves the Bible, they like stuff. And I was with a gentleman that, boy, he was crucifying the Old Testament and whatever else. And the wrong thing he said is to ask me my opinion of something. And I said, the whole Old Testament is to do nothing but for Christmas. And I said, I appreciate it.
So it
So-
tells us about the Christ that's coming. It
That's
was
right.
promised, and here he
The
came,
whole thing.
and we can lift him up. And if I be lifted up, perfect. They'll draw all men to me. And that's got to be on John
Is that-
17.
Amen.
Is that John chapter 17? I bet it is. Everybody read John chapter 17 and see if it isn't. And we're going home. I can't wait. I can't wait to go home. All right, that's it for today.
All right.